Surprise! I have another easy recipe for you. I say surprise because it's a little, I always have easy recipes, right? So today we're gonna make hamburger soup. It's super easy. It's ready in like 30 minutes and everything's done on the stove top. So it's a quick but delicious dinner idea. Hi, I'm Carrie with eatingonadime.com. We're on a mission to help families eat well on a budget. Now this recipe does just that because we are using some frozen veggies, hamburger meat, but all throughout the video I'm going to give you tips and tricks on what you can substitute because this recipe is so versatile, it's so delicious, but you can sub out for ground turkey instead of the ground beef. You can switch out your veggies. There's lots of ways that you can make this recipe your own, but first try it the original way and then come back and make some adjustments and let me know. Now you can find the full recipe link in the description. We love hearing from you. So if you can drop a comment, we would love that. Maybe say what you would eat with hamburger soup. What do you like to put in your hamburger soup? If you could drop that in the comments, I would love to hear from you. Also, after you make today's recipe, love it if you go to our site and actually leave a review. So you will go to the hamburger soup recipe on eatingonadime.com and then you just will leave a review. You'll type in your name and your email, but don't worry, it doesn't sign you up for anything. But we like to do giveaways often, and so that email is the way we contact you. So we give away a lot of stuff to the people who leave reviews on our site, so make sure you do that. Okay, let's get cooking. Step one is we gotta chop up an onion. Now, I'm gonna use my handy chopper. Ever since I got it, I'm lazy and I don't ever chop an onion by knife at all. This one is super giant. But you kind of need about a half of an onion. So when I do my onions, now if you want to see how to chop an onion, I actually have a whole video on it. So normally I do chop onions by myself, but now that I have this food chopper, I'm just so lazy because it does it. Oh, my chopper is missing. It does it in perfectly pieces. Hopefully this will still work. Okay, I'm back. My little green thing wasn't on there to push it through. But it chops up these perfect little pieces every single time, and it's very inexpensive. So we do include the link in the description if you want to grab some, but look, so fast. Okay, so now I'm going to get this and my 1 pound of ground beef, and we're going to head to the stove. Now, before we go to the stove, I want to tell you that you're going to need a stock pot. Any kind of stock pot will work. I'm in love with my caraway pans right now. So if you were like me and you had your pans for 15 years plus and they were looking a little rugged, if you want to stock, if you want to grab some, we include the link for this as well. They are not cheap. They are a more expensive pan, but they're going to last me for 20 years plus, so I'm okay with that. But again, we just want to give you that recommendation. Now in a large stock pot, I have it heating up over medium-high heat. We're going to add the pound of ground beef and those diced onions. We're going to brown and saute these together. I'm going to use my meat chopper. You guys have seen me use this a lot. It's very inexpensive. The trick is just do it a few times and then let that meat set so it doesn't get all stuck onto your meat chopper. Just let it set for a little bit before you come back. Just wanted to show you. See how it's breaking it up in pieces, but shake it off. While we're waiting for that to brown, I wanted to tell you we're going to also peel and chop up 3 medium-sized russet potatoes. So I'm just going to peel this off real quick. I know you can't see me. If you're wondering what I'm doing, there's a sink right here. So I'm not a crazy person, just peeling onto the ground. But now, if you want to be extra lazy, you could actually substitute with frozen diced hash browns. I recommend the diced, not the shredded, because it'll give you the same idea of these. Now you want these to be about a 1/4 inch thick. If you want to, you could use the bigger pieces on the cutting. I'm not going to today. Sorry, I can't talk for some reason. The bigger thingy on your chopper, so there's 2 different sizes on here, the smaller one and the bigger one. You could do the bigger one for your potatoes. If you're going to do that, you're going to slice it and then you'll place it in there. But potatoes, these are not huge, and so they're so easy to do, so I'm just going to chop them up myself. Or I don't know, maybe I should use it, But again, if you want to be extra lazy, just grab a bag of hash browns and throw in. On the recipe, we tell you exactly how much you need. Honestly, I might, now that I'm starting this, let's just try it out. I've done it with sweet potatoes, but I haven't done it with russet potatoes yet. So here we are on the video, testing it out. Oh yeah, this is easier. Should have done that a long time ago, right? Okay, so what you're gonna do is cut these into slices, and then you're just gonna lay them flat on your board. And you can fit more than one on there. The more you fit on there, the harder it is, which is not a big deal with russet potatoes, but if you were doing sweet potatoes, it can get kind of hard. But this is just chopping that up into that perfectly sliced, not sliced, diced potatoes for our soup. Remember, we're making a hamburger soup. So we want, my rule of thumb is when you're making a soup, you can tell I'm left-handed because I have to have it this way. It drives me crazy if it's the other way. Shout out to my lefties, where you at? But what I was saying, everything needs to be the same size as you put on a spoon. If it doesn't fit on a spoon, then it's not a soup, it's a stew. And we're not making a stew. I mean, I'm not the queen that made the names of soups and stews, but if I were, if it can't fit on a spoon, then it's not a soup, it's a stew. Okay, so we're gonna head back over there, check on our ground beef, and start adding all our delicious seasonings. Our ground beef is looking great, and as you can see, those onions are nice and soft. And this is the time, right when it's done, for you to really break up the meat. If you like your meat a little chunkier, you can leave it chunkier, but personally, I like to chop it up a little bit so I can fit beef in every bite when I have potatoes and vegetables on my spoon. We're gonna add in minced garlic, and we're gonna let this cook for 1 minute. Just until you can get the smell. You smell garlic. It kind of, what I call it, activates the garlic. Now, I don't like to add it when I'm browning the beef because when garlic burns, it doesn't taste good. Now we're gonna stir in beef broth. Those potatoes that we just diced up, those knocked in there. A can of tomato sauce and a can of diced tomatoes. Now remember, you can get the full recipe with all the exact amounts linked in the description below. We've got to add some Worcestershire sauce, salt and pepper, and Italian seasoning, and 2 cups of frozen mixed vegetables. I'm using the frozen kind that has green beans, carrots, and corn, but you can do any kind that you would like. We're going to stir this all together, and we're going to crank that heat up and bring it to high. We want this to come to a low boil, and then once it does, we're going to reduce the heat and then let it simmer for about 25 minutes. Once you start seeing it boil, we're going to add the lid and reduce the heat slightly and let it simmer until those potatoes are cooked through. Okay, so I did a quick check. My potatoes are not quite as soft as I want, so I'm gonna let it cook just a little bit longer. So we're gonna go ahead and cover it back up and continue simmering. Okay, I just checked again. Potatoes are softer, so we are ready to eat. Now, once the soup is done, I like to let it sit for a few minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes, just to let it calm down because it's pretty hot. Mine's still pretty hot, but then you just spoon it up and you're ready to serve. I just wanted to show you, this spoon is so great because it's a spatula, it's great for cooking, but then you can also scoop up. But if you don't have that, just a regular ladle will work great. Guys, that's how easy it was to make. Hamburger soup does not have to be difficult. Dinner does not have to be difficult. Now, you can serve this with some rolls or like a sourdough or some breadsticks. There's lots of options, or just as is like we're doing tonight. And even with a simple side salad to make you like a soup and salad. So good. Okay, let's try this. I'm about to blow on it. It's super hot. Ooh, even the bowl's hot. Very good. Very hot, but very good. That's it, guys. If you love today's recipe, I know it was super simple, but it's packed with flavor. Remember, you can find the full recipe linked in the description, or you can always just go to Google and type in "Eat on a Dime hamburger soup" and it will pull right up. Also, if you love today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe. We passed 100,000 subscribers. Woo! I've been saying that for a while, but we're pretty pumped about it. But make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more of our family-friendly recipes. I hope you love this. It's the perfect dinner on a nice cold day. You guys have a great day. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time in my kitchen. Bye, friends.